today we have a new topic. Going on a walk this time. It's pretty dark out, but you know, whatever. Yeah, so the new topic is warmth. What is warmth, and what do I mean by it? People think warmth is this lukewarm temperature that's almost weak, almost unstabilized. But think about warmth, and my definition of warmth, it's the specific kind where people flock to, especially on a cold day. It's the specific kind of warmth that you need when you're shivering. It's the warmth that gets the cold engine going and creates inspiration. My definition of warmth is something that softens any cold soul. I think warmth can be connection. Warmth can also be a warning before the fire. I want to be warmth. The stability of warmth and the ability to continuously melt anything around it. I just heard something in the woods. Hope it's no axe murderer. Oh no, don't get me. No? Okay. Yeah, so I want to be, that sort of symbol, because it really resonates with me. Anyway, that's what I learned. Let's go on to the next thing, which is, I guess another topic would be disconnect. Let's keep it in twos, because as soon as it turns to a third thing, it gets kind of messy for me. So, especially holding all those three things in my head, those topics. Alright, so second one is disconnection from the self. And this is layered. There is a lot of barriers and boundaries to go through, but the truth is that everyone is feeling it. Everyone has some form of disconnect, and why wouldn't they? And you're probably thinking like this, the topic term, like, disconnect, not, feeling kind of alone, feeling kind of not really there. And I think if you were to, it just leaves. I think if you were to look at it as a whole, it is being subtracted. And why? Why is it subtracted? I think it's subtracted because everything that we do is to consume and to the highest state of it, because we want to be special, we want to be unique, we want to be this, that, to have fame or fortune, and without it, without these impossible standards, we feel like a constant loss, or even beyond that, you're just losing. And that might sway off being disconnected, because the truth is, in order to be fully connected, in order to be fully looked at, you have to be the most connected. Every famous person, every inspirational, any person that has succeeded knows connection, has connection, or somehow there is connection. Because there's no way that a person can be famous without connection. Even if they're like, you know, their IQ is quintillion, but he physically cannot be known if nobody knows. So there's a disconnect with everybody, which is, basically impossible. It's so hard to be disconnected in that sense, but I think some people come very close, where some people have a almost identical thing to that, because there's subconscious, barriers, and that usually stems from experiences when they're younger, experiencing trauma, whatever. So I guess the goal here is to reflame, reignite this connection. And how do we do that? We start with the self. So you have to learn the smaller things, the subtleties about yourself, not mathematically. I find so many people are like, oh yeah, I'm good at this, I'm bad at this. Like, no. What is something interesting about yourself? Weird, kind of odd, like somebody who, I don't know, shit's standing up. Or somebody who wears socks in bed when they sleep. I think that reigniting that, starting with yourself first, will open up doors that you would never imagine. How fast is that? How easy is that? It's pretty easy, Just starting already opens doors. And when you continue that, when you work on, because everything is a skill, so you'll have to do it. Doesn't mean it's like the most impossible skill or the easiest skill. It really depends on you and how connected you want to be. Anyway, so the self, the connection with the self, and then the next step is connection with humanity. I would start with that second, and then third would be friends and family. I guess for me, it can switch around technically, but if you understand humanity, you sort of, even subtly talking to strangers, like the cashier, it's to like a certain point where you keep doing it, you start to understand the general idea, and the fear will lessen, guaranteed, unless you're at the worst spot at the worst time and some I don't know what words to use, but I think some person like that would mess it up. Anyway, just know that's like the worst case scenario. Could be intense, could be, not intense, whatever. Just don't let it feed or eat at you. I think opening something that has been open for the first time, it's so easy to close when someone else's opinion or some negative experience happens to it, because you're more used to the negatives, the negative experiences. So humanity, understanding humanity, Almost like if you were to take everybody that you talk to and turn it into like an animal, what would it feel like? What would it look like? And this gives you the general idea to how to view how to view people as a whole. And the more people you know, the more defined this animal will get, and the more you will know how to interact. The third thing is friends and family. This one is very sacred. This one is very I guess with family, there's people that are sort of stuck there that aren't the best. And what I would say to that is the special thing about you and your reality is that you don't have to let people in or perceive them in there. You know, it's yours. It's your perception. It holds value to you. And it always will. Yeah, and not just hold value to you, it holds value in general. Anyway, so those three things, which is the self, humanity, and the family and friends. Oh yeah, I didn't go into any detail about Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I saw a freaking leaf fall. Scared everything out of me. Anyway, yeah, so family and friends. Obviously, talk about the family. You'll know, like when you talk to them, you'll know if it's a person that wants to. It basically comes down to like a fundamental love. It's not anything like cringy or weird or creepy. It's in the sense of hope, and that word hope, there's always a piece of love in there no matter what. So the people that can hold on to hope and grow and be better, focus on those people. Invest conversations, time, boringness, anything, not anything, but understand the value of investment for family or friends, especially family. Friends should be people that you love, you will love no matter what, and to have respect, pride, honor toward those people, and they feel the same way back. And when a person has all that, has a foundational structure in that sense, especially emotionally, they're true, they're genuine, they're real. They are people who have experienced and understand that the future will hold more dips, but they will continue to experience because they found through the unworthlessness that there is worth. Sometimes it just has to be created. I think creation is also a fundamental of reconnecting with yourself. Creation, because we're all meant to create on some fundamental level. On some level, for something, we're supposed to create. We love creating. So, what better way to find out about yourself than to create? What does this mean? What does this feel like? Why? You know why? Because I already told you. What does it feel like? It feels like, call it like a happy strain. You know, you're gonna test things, you're gonna hate it, you're gonna feel bored by it, but there will be subtle hints and clues that you will look at, and you will find. But you have to seek, you know. Yeah, and you'll know. You'll feel this joyful strain, this happy strain, and it'll give you hope for the future. And it gives you gratitude for the present. For some people, it's like this big, you know, explosion, and for others, it's just this subtlety. But when it starts, it's there. If you're feeling something, you're doing it for a bit, and then, you know, you absolutely hate it, and you don't know why, it's because it wasn't real, it wasn't true. I mean, if you continuously to do something all day long, every single day, you will get bored from it. And you'll have to sort of you'll have to pick yourself up back again to go back at it, because you will tire yourself out. Yeah, so in saying that, have multiple. You know, have like a caliber, have like a rotation. And to go along with that, structure, whether it's literally planning those things out or making the oath to do those things a little bit every day, you know, so it can move around and stuff, so you have more like flexibility, and persistence, grit, determination. You have to figure out what helps. Everything that I say could work, could not work, but I'm saying it so it's in reality. So there is a possibility that you can fall upon it. Anyway, what was I saying? Man, talking for almost 18 minutes. Wow. What was I saying? Talking about connection. Grit. Oh, okay, yeah, yes. I forget. I I remember, not that I forget. It's the thing that worked for me is to have something chase you and put something out there that you will chase for. To chase for, that is hope. And the thing that chases you to, you know, whenever you have, you know, that extra second where you're lying in bed and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go back to whenever you have that second that you lay in bed and you want to go back to sleep, you feel the thing that chases you. And it's basically all of your fears. Well, not fears, but it's like if you never succeed in your dreams, if you've never done all that, and you're on your deathbed, go through that. How would you feel? How would you, you know, re-inspire that? You know, because it's good to have something to always give you a little push. It's good to be, the more structure you have for that, the more force you have pushing you, and it's to something that is for you, for the betterment, you know, go all in. If it's right and if it's truth especially, yeah, go at it. So try and work on your strategy to keep going. Keep having those ideas planted in your brain over and over and over again. Just depends on consistency and to start. Thank you.